and uyakwazi ukufunda in between the lines, you will see ukuthi imali iphelile ka-NSFAS. So that is what is. So as an institution, masesitshela end of April ukuthi bavalide abakhokhela ama-allowances. We wrote a memo to our executives, which went via the dean, the registrar, and other executives, pleading with institutions okwamanje. So this is what ama-exams kaJune and everything kungaphazamiseki ukufunda kwabafundi. Can we not pay abafundi laba even though i-rate ingahambanga? Can we not pay them from our pocket as an institution? And your memo yaphasa, this is why we continue paying up until June. That is why you are seeing those debits on the side. Because whatever money we put out as a student, it must reflect on the account with the money debited and free the student. Must ingena from NSFAS is reflected as a credit into your account. At the end of the year, everything is in order. So that is why it's I am some officials are saying now because we didn't want to say it. We've got about 25,000 students that are funded by NSFAS activity. The last time I checked, we only had plus minus 1.5. That's not about now, because best guess. Because remember, once we have sent it in NSFAS, start to do transport, can do private accommodation. We must then as a pocket with a cost. That is why we have to get all the information from the right sources, the correct sources. Because even if you ask him for non-child which you know private accommodation, so which one do you go with? This is why we go with official information. For PA, we get official information from the landlords. For Abanya phone, they were able to come and tell us, yes, I'm a loan parents or relatives, therefore see uploading as transport. So in a nutshell, we want to Wednesday. Outline before we the fight between universities and NSFAS and DUT regarding the templates which were not uploaded is not over, it's ongoing. There are 26 universities, and I was told there was over 20,000, if I'm not mistaken, students nationwide that are affected. All universities are fighting for NSFAS to get the budget from wherever they are getting it, so that at the end of the day, above the lose. So that is what is currently happening. And NAT is an institution, we are part of that code, to a point which even yesterday, we had another meeting with NSFAS officials about the very same matter. And they requested more data and more reports, and we submitted those before the end of the day yesterday. Thank you, facilitated.
Yes. Oh, and another thing, another thing, Mr. Manashe, it doesn't make sense with NSFAS to figure out who Valama registration template to 2 April. Quite a day for April. Because for Namapuna, I figure another case you approve appeal. Appeal like 4 or 5 April, but Wafa. Who may for one bottom phone NSFAS will take move a send that. Then it doesn't make sense. It's in the land, but send Paddy one. But I see another question.
Mandla bethu mina ke engithanda ukukusho angicathi ngifuna ukclarify kule ndaba yakhe yemali reflectayo ku portal. I think she was not talking about into ye tuition. Ubekhuluma ngama allowances. Angithi isikole sisikhokhele for May and June. Yet ku portal bethu abanye bethu ku reflecta ama allowances awu3 anyusa isikweletu kodwa leyo allowance leyo asikaze size siyithole. I think ubesho lokho my sister regarding into reflect bengasho tuition. Yes.
No, that is not it. If we statement sir we really allow it to we are more than welcome to query with our colleagues there to a finance. We can just order directly to the allowance every day. I did not receive it in that month. They will then check on my reports out because in the allowances there are at least 3 DUT files. We prepare the file like financial aid, send the finance debtors on their side. There's another unit called creditors, or we end up filing with account. So those two creditors, not debtors, they are very close to each other, so they would know what it. Now let's say man if there was an error sending an bank account, they should tell the other one, then I record the mistakes. But you are more than welcome to go directly finance and check why we've been putting it only allowance in July, even with allowance in July. That's not a fact.
Oh, I'm coming off from the complete. Oh, my brother.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm actually a medical student studying in the Miso campus, but I actually live here in Durban. So I'm funded by NSFAS. At the beginning of the year, I got my code for academics, and I was able to register for my academics. And I was told by financial aid that I have to wait, because I was registered for second semester by the beginning of the year. So I got my code, and then I registered. Second semester came, second semester I needed a code for rates, and I didn't get the code, so I couldn't get allocated rates. So I had to pay for my own pocket, the deposit, so I can secure a place, so I can stay, because lectures were commencing, they were going on. So I'd like to know, because whenever we speak to them, I wouldn't mention names. I wouldn't mention names. Financially.
Oh, okay.
Whenever, especially in Midlands, whenever we speak to financial aid, they just tell the students that there's a problem with the templates, and the students don't even understand what is a template, what do you mean by that?
Okay.
So I sort of want to say, so I'd like to know how do we mitigate that as financial aid, and how do we make sure that students don't fall into debt if we given the codes, because NSFAS hasn't given any correspondence as yet, it's still pending. How do we make sure that students don't fall into debt?
They have actually given us correspondence.
Okay.
About second semester students specifically.
Okay.
And I did ask the NSFAS official if I can share the communication with students, and I was told no, I can't.
How?
So I can't share this information, but I have given me communication. You said you're from Midlands.
Midlands, in the Miso campus.
We had a discussion with the colleagues from housing, finance, financial aid, appeals office, and other colleagues at DUT. I think about a week, sometime last week, Thursday or Friday, I was on leave, but we had a communication. And the arrangement was that the colleagues in housing, specifically Durban, the colleagues in housing, they will try and assist each second semester on a student on a case-by-case basis. And the reason why I'm saying that, you will remember that DUT only has a limited number of beds. For additional capacity, we need to go to outsource, right? If we do outsource, that means there is a landlord that we must pay. While we stay there, there's an invoice that comes in once a month, that invoice must be paid. So the idea was that Durban students, second semester students who are in need of res, or those who are being kicked out by Roma Stanley, they can go to housing and plead their case with the police in housing. Where there is space within DUT res, they may be accommodated. That was the idea. But in your case, seeing that you are in Midlands, I don't know in terms of the capacity of DUT res, because I know some residences in Midlands were closed because of refurbishment. But what I can advise you to do before you go to Midlands, you know where housing is collocated?
Housing?
Yeah, the housing offices. Here in Durban.
I'm not sure, but yeah.
You know where open house is?
No idea. But I can answer that.
Yeah, they will show you where collocated is. See if you can have a conversation with this.
Okay, sorry to interject, sir. I've already been allocated a res because I paid that deposit.
Yeah.
But the issue now is that I don't have a res code.
It's fine. The res code, let's say hypothetically speaking, next week, NSFAS comes back to me. You are located in a res by DUT officials.
By housing.
That's fine.
Yes.
So let me tell you how we're going to resolve the issue. If let's say next week, NSFAS comes back to me and say, I've got budget, submit your claims and everything. When I look at your statement, I will see tuition and the res debit for the charge that will be charged for the second semester. Then when I send the invoice to NSFAS, I will send it as a resident student. And then the code will come after the fact.
Okay, and another thing, so for the tuition was an invoice sent to NSFAS?
No.
It wasn't sent.
Because we were waiting for you to authorize. We can't send an invoice for tuition and an invoice for a separate. You need to combine everything into one.
Okay, so I don't know if this is gonna be the final question, but
That's fine.
how do we know when NSFAS is gonna get back to the institution? Because now it's as if we left hanging. We don't know whether they're gonna come. We don't know the time frame when they're gonna get back to students.
When you work with NSFAS, you hope for the best at all times. That's the attitude I have done. Students, please understand this. As a university official, my mandate is to make sure that students are not in need. Which is why in May, when things happen, the first thing we do as an office is to write an internal memo pleading for students to be assisted at least for May and June. So when it comes to NSFAS, you also recall that we sent emails directly to students to say you are being excluded because of this reason. For whatever reason, somebody decided to go and post the email on social media, which then created this tension between us and NSFAS, because now NSFAS came back and accused us of lying, knowing very well that we were telling our students the truth, but we are not there. So now we are very skeptical of sending communication to students because we don't know